Right, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the 6th week of marketing with C. Inside of this series, we are taking a fitness business from £0 all the way up to £100,000, and I'm showing you the journey. I'm documenting the process. Now, the thing is, I'm not rushing it. This is a real example of how much effort it actually takes to fucking build a business. I mean, look, listen, I might not be the smartest of dudes, all right? Maybe there are people that know this shit way better than me. I'm not trying to say that I'm an expert, because I'm clearly not. I'm just a guy with a dream. I'm a guy that I've also built a few different businesses up to 100K or just a little bit over 100K online. And fitness is something I'm passionate about, all right? So I'm trying to combine two arts, me making money online, which is something that I've been doing for a fair few years now, and me doing fitness, you know? So combining these two together, that's where the goal stems from. Now, along the way of the journey, I'm not just aiming to make 100K. I'm also using this time to try and learn the processes that are behind doing things online. Mainly communication. I think having the ability to communicate your message with clarity and efficiency is a huge skill, and that's kind of what I'm utilizing this time for. But, you know, if you've been watching the series, highly likely not, because I don't think anyone watches it, but I'm still doing it. I'm still here because, in a way, it helps me, you know, once I reach that goal, it will help me look back in all that time and say, I fucking did it. And I know it's just a matter of time. So, we are on week 6, and there are two main areas in which we put our focus into. One is content, what we do with social media, because I believe that obviously having a social media presence is part of the game. So even while I'm building my program, because that's the phase that we are in, we're building a product that we then can sell, I'm still utilizing social media because I feel like once my product is ready, I can then, you know, have an audience to kind of promote that product to, rather than me having a product that's ready but having no audience, if that makes sense. So we are in a product building phase while utilizing social media to grow. The ideal scenario will be this. Once the product is ready and I don't need to touch it, 100% of my effort goes into social media. And once I have that in place, beautiful things will happen. But as with any business, you know, it takes work, it takes effort. I'm a solopreneur at this moment in time, at least working on this business, which means I'm the only guy working on it. I do the videos, I do the editing, I do the content production, I do everything, all right? So it takes a lot of time, and managing time is a huge aspect of it. So week 6, here we are. There were some targets that we've set out for ourselves last week. And we've scored a win. We've scored a win, and I'll tell you why we scored a win. Let's start with this area over here, which is the development. And let me see whether you can still see me. You can kind of see me, all right? You can kind of see me. Which is the development of a program. So I'm not going to go over exactly what the product is going to be because I've covered it in the previous videos. But in essence, we're going to be providing a coaching service. It's a VIP coaching service, one-to-one online coaching service, where I act as a, God, I always forget the word. Every video I forget the word. A consultant, all right? I am a consultant that in essence has a bunch of programs, and those programs are best suited for different individuals. There are programs suited for those that are just starting out. There are programs for those that have problems with mobility. So they can't move very well. They go to the gym, they try to train, but they quickly find that they cannot, you know, perform the exercises in a way that they're supposed to. There are programs for people that are a bit more advanced and they have been going to the gym for some time, but the result seems to stall. And there are programs for other types of people, right? So my mission when I'm doing this type of coaching as a coach is to find what someone's problem is currently and show them the next step to help them build a map, all right? So the idea is this. We jump on a strategy call. I'll map out your journey. You talk about your goal. Tell me what your goal is. I clearly establish where you are right now. And then we create a plan of what it is that you would need to do in order to get there. Now, I can't show you the what, but I'll give you the how. The how is part of the program, all right? So that's the VIP coaching essence of it. But here's the thing, all right? I'm also following my intuition while building this. And what do I mean by this? I'll explain it in a second. First, let me praise myself for this week. So what did we say we're going to do this week? This week we said, all right, that we want to build these yellow programs here, all right? They are not ready. This says not ready. We need to get them ready. What does this mean? Before I can even try and promote these things to people, I first need to create these programs so I have them ready. So when I do sign up the clients, I don't have to create the program straight away. I have a bunch of programs that I can pair them with, and that means putting them onto my app. This means exercises. and putting them onto a nutritional program. So everything needs to be ready in the background. And I don't need all of the programs to be ready, but I need some of the programs to be ready. And at the moment, last week, we didn't even have one program. So my mission first became create the first program called Starting Gains, which I began working on the 10th 08/25, which would have been exactly 3 weeks ago. And today, I can say with confidence and happiness that our first program is ready, which is the Starting Gains program, and I'm going to turn that program from yellow into green. Now, this is a big breakthrough moment, all right? And the reason it's a breakthrough moment is because the following programs are going to follow a similar structure as the Starting Gains program. And that structure is going to be welcoming a person into the program with a welcoming video. This gives an origin story. This aims to hype them up, you know? Let's say I pair them with a program. They understand that that's the right fit for them. Before they start the program, I want to, give them a little bit of juice. Tell them about how this program came about. Usually I base them off my own transformation. So, usually I've been in a position that they are in. Let's say someone wants to build muscle, but they don't know how to, and they've been trying for a while, and they're frustrated with the fact that they go to the gym, they get no results. Well, what I do inside of these welcoming videos is that in essence take myself back to the time when that was the case for me. I give them a little bit of an origin story, hype them up, show them that I did it. Now they understand that this guy knows what he's talking about, and they're willing to listen to about what it is that they need to do in order to be able to follow this program. So the next step, the welcoming video is step 1, training strategy is step 2, training program is step 3, and the frequently asked questions is step 4. So it's a pretty simple structure, which means that once I welcome them, I show them the strategy, because the strategy and the training program are two different things. So, you could have the same training program, the same list of exercises, but you could approach training in different ways, yeah? So I explain the strategy, what I want them to do, how I want them to approach the training program, and I show them the training program, and then I have a section for frequently asked questions where I can just add a bunch of videos, and that creates each and every program. So what do? We've got the exercise list right here, all right? This is the training program. One option is a downloadable PDF, and now I can just copy this template for the other programs. Whenever I create other programs, it shouldn't take me 3 weeks now. Hopefully it'll take me a week. I get a bunch of exercises, the routine that I want them to follow. Then what I do is, let me just film this. I'll put my screen on. Then I go on to school.com, which is one area where I can place the course, all right? And I've got a bunch of videos. Start here. This is the welcoming video, all right? This is where I hype them up. Then I move on to the next video, which is your training strategy. I explain the training strategy. I show them what I want them to do, all right? Inside of the Starting Gains program is finding your limits and then learning how to beat your previous high scores. Then step 3, I show them the training routine, all right? So here again, we've got the training routine. We've got a video that describes the training routine.
Right guys, in the previous video, I showed you how to approach your training program. What's the strategy and system behind it? In this video,
all right. Then we've got the routine that they can download here. PPL machine based, all right? They can download the PDF workout if they want. And what else do we have here? And then we've got the frequently asked questions, all right? How to keep good form, and I can keep adding videos. So that simple structure, this is going to be replicated over the other programs, because once I have a bunch of these programs ready, in essence, my product is kind of ready, yeah? Why am I doing it this way? I'm doing it this way for 2 reasons. One, I want to learn how to efficiently deliver information. So even when I'm teaching people these programs, every time I create a new program, that's more practice for me to be able to share something that I am passionate about with the world, something that I have a great level of knowledge, I'm sharing it with the world. And there is a system in which I share it. Every video follows this script. Why, what, how, now structure. I told you more about this in the previous video, but in essence, I've built systems. Now I have systems to communicate my message. I have a program, I know what I want to teach them, and I know how to teach them. And at the moment, the mission becomes pretty simple. Now that I've completed this, I'm actually going to mark down the date in which this has been completed, which in our case, what is it today? Today is the 31st, yeah? So, boom, 31st, 08, 25. 3 weeks. What does this mean? I need a few more programs in order to be able to launch this. So that's what we're taking care of here, taking care of week on week, all right? But the question is this: what's my next step? Because that's what I'm doing with these weekly sessions. Every week I'm meeting, I'm thinking, what is my next step? My next step with the program is to clearly create more of these programs, so I have the base amount of programs that I need in order to be able to start bringing people on and coaching them, all right? I don't want to start coaching them before I have the programs, because then I'm not going to have enough time to coach, create, etc. Big, messy process. Hence, I'm taking a hit on my finances at the moment. I'm not signing anyone up because I want to have a system that is, semi-ready. I don't need it to be fully ready, but I need to have a system. So, this brings me to the next step. We are inside of week 6. And this week, as we speak right now, I am going to be going away for the next 2 weeks for a trip around UK. My friend's getting married in Scotland. This has been a trip that has been planned for a while. So I'm in essence going to be taking 2 weeks off from all of this. I'm not going to be able to work on it while I'm away. But when I'm back, all right, I'm back with a plan. I'm back with a plan. I'll show you exactly what that plan is. That plan is going to be what I'm going to do inside of the 4th quarter. Hopefully, wow, hold on a minute. I actually need to stick this little bad boy here. Boom, boom. Now let me show you. Let me show you this. All right, let me show you this. Hopefully you can see it. Can you see it? Let's have a look. Can you see everything that I'm showing you here? I think you can see everything. I think you can see everything. I will even maybe drag this light a little bit further here. So now it shines a little bit of a brighter light onto this. All right. So what do we have here? You can't really see what's happening, but let me quickly explain what my plan for the quarter number 4 is of 2025. First thing that I understand about making a plan for a quarter, all right, last quarter of the year, is that I often would think that I can do more than what I can do. So when I make a plan, I would often be like, oh, I can do this, 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 and that. And then I overwhelm myself with the amount of shit that I could actually do, thinking that I'm capable of achieving more than what I'm capable of. I don't think there's anything wrong with setting a big target, yeah? But I personally make them so unrealistic that it just becomes fucking too much. Like I can never actually fucking achieve it. So that's not to say that I'm trying to be realistic with creating a plan, but that is to say that I am quite aware of how much effort I can pour into this. I've been doing this long enough time to know how much time I've got on my hands in order to be able to kind of judge what I can do. So the idea is this. I'm already in a strong flow of creating content, and I'm already in a strong flow of creating the programs. I obviously would like to have this ready because then I can start signing up clients, but until then, I can't do that. So here's the thing. Here's where my intuition is taking me. When it comes to, all right, social media, and I'll talk about social media and what we do with social media in a second. When it comes to social media, when it comes to doing things with the content, my idea is to enter a phase of mass production. So this means aligning everything that I do to have the ability to mass produce content, create a high volume of content. I'm not even trying to make perfect pieces of content. I just want a lot of content out there, all right? But here's the thing. Right now, I'm creating content that leads nowhere, all right? And me as a fitness coach, I have a certain ethos. I have a certain strategy. I have a certain backstory. So, a skinny kid with a dream that wanted to fucking make gains, and now I'm living that dream. That's kind of my backstory. But that backstory isn't anywhere with the world. So I think the best idea for me is to do this, is to create one big, large video, YouTube video, which talks about my backstory and talks about the 3 stages that I believe are the 3 stages required for someone to get into an incredible shape, all right? These are the 3 steps that I have taken to get into an incredible shape. And my entire program, everything that I'm doing inside of it is called the muscle map, all right? Because in a way, I'm mapping out the process of what it is that I've done in order to be in shape, in order to get in shape. I'm doing it, and I've done it in a smart way, because each and every step helps me find and pinpoint someone along the way of their journey, whether they're starting out, whether it's someone that's new to making gains, whether it's someone that's been making gains for a while but now is missing something, they will always be able to find themselves somewhere along the way of the map. And the ethos of this program is the right advice at the right time, because that gives you results. Sometimes you can find the right advice, but if you find the right advice at the wrong time, right? If let's say you're a beginner and you see some fucking videos online of someone showing you how to emphasize mind-muscle connection, and it all seems good, it all seems great. The advice is great, but it might not be the right time for that person to utilize that advice. And if they do Start using that good advice at the wrong time is still wrong advice. I've done that so many times along the way of my journey, not just with fitness, but with business, with so many other things, right? Utilizing the right advice at the wrong time. And I ended up spinning my wheels, man. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? You know, I'm doing the shit that I'm supposed to and I'm still not seeing the results. So my ethos in everything that I do in life, in essence, is use the right advice at the right time. So I'm going to work on creating this one big massive video, which I can post on YouTube, and this is going to become like my origin story, all right? Then people who see me online through the short form content that I'm mass producing, I can link them through my link in the bio or whatever. Like what I want to do is I want to send them to that video so they can learn about me and my strategy more, all right? So inside of that video, they should basically get the idea of like, wow, this guy knows what he's talking about. I'm curious to know more. And once they're curious to know more, I want to send them into my free community. As a matter of fact, there should be a little arrow pointing this way too, all right? From here, this is where I want them to go. I want them to join my free community, which I will hold on school.com, okay? And now my aim with this is to actually give away everything for free, right? That might be a stupid fucking idea. But might not, also might not. Guys like Alex Hormozy, is that his name? What's the other guy? The ClickFunnels guy, you know? They all actually give away most of their knowledge for free, you know? All of that shit is out there, yeah? All of that shit is out there. And even what I've learned before while running business is people don't necessarily, like, information is out there anyway, you know? Overwhelming amounts of information. So you sharing your knowledge, I could do two things. I could try and guard it and be like, oh my God, my precious knowledge, you know, about fitness. Or I could just share it, you know? I could just share it with the world. So what I want to do is I actually want to take those 3 steps and share them with people inside of my free community on school.com. And I show them the exact stages, you know, the stages and the programs that I'm talking about even here when I'm creating them, yeah? Starting Gains program, the body fix. So I show them the stages, I show them the programs, and I actually give it to them for free, yeah? Now, out of that community, my mission is just to basically build relationships, all right? Build relationships with people, whether that's in a DMs, inside of short form content, or whether that's inside of my free community. I just want to build up relationship. Because what my mission is going to then become is once I've got this free community, which is filled with programs and other things, I can then offer them VIP coaching. And VIP coaching is pretty simple. It's just a step up from the free community. Means that rather than them having to find themselves along the way of the journey on a map, I analyze where they are. And as I said, I analyze where they are. I pair them with the programs. I show them what to do. I put them on my app and I take care of their transformation. I become their coach, all right? I guide them every step along the way. I become the person that keeps them accountable to it. I make sure that they do what they have to do, you know? I remove the confusion, bring them clarity. So that's in essence what I want to do. And the target will be 50 clients, VIP, all right? The price that I will charge them will probably vary, but let's say we start with £200 and then we move it up, all right? We move it up. So if we do that, if we get to 50 clients, I reckon 50 is the limit which I can handle myself. After that, I will probably need to start getting people on board because, you know, it's going to become overwhelming with the amount of work that I'm doing. But that's why we build in the systems. The systems that I'm building in the background of creating these programs is so, one, when I have clients, it doesn't take me that long to coach everyone. And 2, when I do bring on people onto my team, they clearly understand the process and steps that I want, you know, them to kind of go through and take the people through. If I have a system, it's a clear structure. So what's the aim inside of quarter number 4? Quarter number 4, the aim is this. Create a big video. Make sure you finish creating the programs, all right? The remaining programs, the ones that are yellow, they need to turn green. And once those programs are created, and once the free community is also there, I can then start sending traffic towards that free community. I can start engaging with people and this whole funnel can start. Why is this a useful process to me? A useful process to me because from that point onwards, whenever I create content online, I'm not just creating content for the sake of it. I'm not just getting attention and getting eyes onto me and then doing nothing with it. I actually have a funnel through which I can take these people and start offering them my products, offering them my help. And the other benefit of that is this. If I'm massively creating these programs and the short form content and all the other things. I'm practicing my ability to communicate. That's what I want to do. I want to become a better communicator. So it's a win-win situation. And from that point onwards, when all this is ready, I create content, I continuously create content, I focus on making content, and I'm shooting this up. So that's the next 12 weeks in essence, all right? Quarter number 4, the last quarter of 2025, that's October, November, December. I'm not desperate to make money yet. I'm truly not. I have other businesses. I just want to do this proper. Yeah. You might be thinking that I could be making money right now. I could actually sign up clients and put them onto my programs. But the fact is, I would get so lost because I don't yet have a system. I want to build this system not to perfection, but to efficiency. So when I do get these clients, everything's working smoothly. So last part of this is my weekly schedule, which means that in essence, when I'm following content creation strategy, I've recognized that creating content takes a long time. And at the moment, at some point, I would like to create both short form content like Reels and TikToks and long form content like YouTube videos. But the fact is, creating these programs is like doing long form content. This is like creating long form YouTube videos. So at the moment, we're going to focus on getting the programs ready. Once the programs are ready, we can then start creating long form content alongside of short form content. But for now, short form content is the thing. So what we're going to do is once a week, we meet on a Sunday, like we do, to do this planning day. This takes a long time. And then on a Monday, I'm going to do a filming day where I sit inside of my gym and I film anything that needs to be filmed for the program, meaning like script writing, sitting down, basically the bulk for the week. And then for the rest of the week, I'll film B-roll, I'll keep editing, I'll keep adding things into the program, and then once a week, it'll just basically be this machine, all right? This machine, every video follows the structure, why, what, how, now. I've explained that in the previous video. So we got a system, all right? We got a system, we know exactly what we need to do in order to begin our quarter 4. So what am I going to do? I'm going to stick this onto our little planner. Yeah. Let's stick this onto our little planner, and then let's move on to tell you what happened with content this week and what's the plan for the coming weeks. So this is going to be it, all right? This is going to be it. This is the plan for the quarter number 4 for the weeks to follow, because once we've got this, we can then lead people down our funnel. Yeah, and I'm on a phone. I'm getting some money in. It'll take a little while. But we do it proper. So now on to the content. So as I said, program and content are the two things that we're taking care of. This is the program side. This is the plan for the next coming quarter. Now, with content, I've showed you and I've explained my strategy for basically growing on social media. I'm not going to explain that. Again, if you want to know that, you can go back to the previous videos and you will find out my strategy. For now, the idea was this. Post twice a day, which we have done for the last 2 weeks. Once on TikTok, once on YouTube Shorts. We have done that over the last 2 weeks. We managed it and we even grown a little bit on some pages. This week has been tougher. It's been tougher. Maybe because I'm going away, right? Maybe because I'm going away, it kind of threw me off routine. I had a few days where I had to prep up, go shopping. You know, my routine's been interrupted by this Scotland trip. So, yeah, there was a few little hiccups. I'm going to be absolutely honest with you. So let's start off. CK Shreds, the page that was or is on about 32,000 followers. CK Shreds, the idea was to post twice a day. And unfortunately, I've posted 12 times, which means I've missed 2 posts in an entire week. So 14 would have been, you know, me in a clear. Some of the days just gotten away. That's still a good result. But obviously, once we are back inside of the quarter 4, when we're back from Scotland, we don't want slip-ups like that. You know, we want to make sure that we are continuously and consistently posting on social media, because consistency is one of the main ingredients. So week 6, despite posting only 12 times, we still managed to grow to 32,879 followers, which is 108 extra from last week, you know. And that's good. That's a good result. Why is it a good result? It's a good result because over time, extra eyes, extra attention on who we are and what we are is good for business, you know? It's good for business, good for the message. Attention is the new currency, I would say. So, other page, Caesar King. This one, despite of posting on it all the time, it's been losing followers every week, you know? We just haven't connected. We haven't found a piece of content. I'm probably we can do better with this page. We can do better with this page, but again, it's going to require attention. So same thing as with CK Shreds. Caesar King has only posted 12 times. I'm supposed to post 14, missing 2 posts. You know, it's not the worst, but again, once we step into that new quarter, once we step into the next phase when I'm back from Scotland, we're going to make sure that we post at least twice a day. And this one, despite of posting this amount of times, we actually lost 84 followers, which seems to be the, you know, ongoing kind of thing with that page. We keep losing followers on that page, but that's fine. That's fine for now. Next pages are TikTok and YouTube Shorts, all right? TikTok and YouTube Shorts. Now, what's the thing with TikTok and YouTube Shorts? I'm supposed to post once a day. Oh, God. Have I failed on this one? YouTube, I posted no times. And there's a reason for that. It's because talking videos, I felt like were doing really well on YouTube. But I've produced no talking videos this week. And I just didn't want to put trash out on YouTube, which is probably a silly idea because I just should put some fucking shit on there. So this page, YouTube, posted 0 times. Didn't gain, didn't lose any subscribers. 874 we are on right now. Let's keep moving. All right, let's keep moving. YouTube, week 6, nothing. TikTok, rather than posting 7 times, we posted 4 times, and we managed to gain extra 136 subscribers, followers. You know, we're moving, slow movements. Now, as I said previously in the previous videos, my mission with these pages at the moment is that just to keep them moving, just to keep them going. But once this whole thing is in place, once the entire process has been, the program is in place, we're going to double down on content creation. Once I have a funnel that I can send these people to, it's going to be a beautiful thing, man. I'm so excited. I'm so excited about this. So this is it, guys. Week 6. Nobody really watches these videos. Actually, I get zero views on these videos, but that's fine, all right? Because over time, one day I'll be able to look back at these videos, hopefully, and it'll be interesting. So this is it, week 6. Next time I'll be seeing you is when I'm back from Scotland, and we're going to step into quarter number 4, 2025. Let's destroy it, baby.